Is it bad to make a random pawn move? Is it that bad? Well, this short video will actually exemplify, particularly at the highest level. We're talking about Mikhail Tal here, a game played in 1972 against Eliseo Gonzalez, if I pronounce it correctly. And we're going to have a Rossolimo Sicilian defense, Rossolimo attack with bishop b5. And we're going to see how actually, what big of a causality an apparent random unnecessary pawn move can have upon the evolution of the game. So let's go now directly into business. So e4, c5, you're going to love it, guys. Knight f3, knight c6. So white now has the option to play bishop to b5. In principle, you may take then on c6 and give black double pawns. Not the end of the world anyway. It's absolutely fine because there is ways for black to play and keep itself in a balanced, equal position, including the g6. The fianchetto announces the bishop g7 later on in the game. Nothing wrong. Again, perfectly fine. c3 here because c3 wants to support the d4, and upon exchanging, if that were to happen, white retains beautiful connected white pawns in the middle, dominating, and everything's great. There's nothing wrong with this c3 d4 idea. You're going to find them very often. Knight f6 attacks the white pawn on e4, and now, of course, white has a plethora of answers here, stemming from starting with d3. There's nothing wrong with this. With queen e2, which is the move that Mikhail Tal played in the game, you've got also e5, attacking the piece that attacked your pawn. Of course, you could do that too. Then they might be playing d5 and stuff like that. And someone at the door. Or you can play d4. So, but that's not what happened. So I'm just telling you the theoretical moves that white can just play right now in the game. Now, Mikhail Tal played queen e2. Nothing wrong with this one. Queen e2 protects the d4. I am recording for Christ's sake, and I don't want to adjust the video later on. Okay, so queen e2 being played. Queen to c7. Castle short. a6 now attacking the bishop. So we're getting very close to the critical point of the game. Nothing wrong with taking on c6, by the way, and it's worth mentioning that bishop takes c6 now will be answered with queen takes c6, and you don't have to have double pawns on the c file. Apparently, I have to go and open up the door, which annoys me a little bit. Sorry, fellas, we'll be back. I don't know if I'll be cutting it because I don't have all day. All right, a bit of an annoyance. I'm not going to cut this thing because it's a very time costly. Where were we, though? Okay, then. So, if bishop takes the knight, of course, black has the option to take back with a queen. So you avoid the doubling of the pawns. Bishop to a4, nothing wrong. And b5 chasing further on the bishop. You could play bishop to b3, which would encourage black to play c4, and then you can drop it on c2. So again, this is very theoretical, very balanced, very much equal. There's nothing wrong with that. Or you could just drop the bishop on c2 straight away, as Mikhail Tal did. And this is the critical stuff that happened in the game. Probably Gonzalez said, look, c4 was kind of supposed to happen if Mikhail stopped the bishop on b3 first. So what's the problem if I want to grab myself a little bit of space here? So that could be the psychology behind playing c4 right now. Very unnecessary pawn move and very costly. Let's just go back just a little bit. After bishop c2, just to put things in the right perspective, you have three very good options to play here for black. You could either go bishop g7, which is great. That is why you play the fianchetto in the first place. You could go bishop b7. There's not a problem. Or you could do something like d6, kind of like trying to put a stop to e5 or discourage them to go for that. So these three main ideas for black are just great to be played right now. So keep this in mind for future reference, guys. The eighth move for black could be any of the three already highlighted with the red arrows on the screen. Now, the problem with c4 that being played is that it's punishable straight away. Good stuff for white. They castle the king. Now they're only preoccupied with the tactics that put black in a very bad position, starting with a4. And there's no point to say, oh, I don't care. Can I just move something? Can I play now bishop or d6. Yeah, you can, sure. But then after we take on b5, we attack the knight. Black pawn can't take, because if they take, the rook is hanging. So now the situation had already dramatically changed. It is not the same. It has changed, right? So, oops, let's just go back. And if you say, yeah, but what do you think is something bad if I take the pawn? Well, if you take the pawn, queen's going to take on c4. The knight on c6 is pinned. This guy is going to be taken very soon. And then white is claiming the middle with a move like d4. And the position is horrible for black. It's absolutely a horrible position for black here. And the a6 is also imbalanced too. So let's just go back. Gonzalez played rook a8 to b8. Okay. Well, makes sense from a point of view. But then again, a little bit too late now to be playing that. And d3, Mikhail Tal now challenges the c4, threatening to winning a pawn there, because if pawn takes, black pawn takes, and queen takes, and white is enjoying a fabulous position, extra material, and is going to win, only just considering that. d5, again, understandable from a human point of view. Pawn now takes, so now you take a pawn, knight takes, and now you're going to be winning on c4, and now you attack the knight on d5, which either defended or runs away. The position is incredibly bad for black as it stands. Gonzalez played knight to b6, attacking the queen. But you guys know that principle. When you have material advantage in chess, go for simplification. Even if you are the magician from Riga, go for simplification, because then it becomes a formality to winning and convert the advantage, which is those two white pawns that will be pushed and successfully promoted in the game. But at the grandmaster level, you just don't want to do this no more, because after the next move, yeah, if you want to be funky, you can play bishop f4 now with white, but you just go queen f4. You're just trading off stuff here, okay? And black had just simply resigned at this stage. Due to primarily because of this, guys, black has to waste 2 or 3 tempi to get a king castled. In the meantime, it will be attacked and harassed by the white pieces. If queen takes, you take back with a bishop. You attack the rook. Where the heck does the rook go? They go here, you're going to take. Everything is bad. Everything is bad here. You move here, we're going to play bishop e4. We're going to pin the knight. You could check it yourself with your friends, coach, computers, etc. The position is crumbling for black. Mainly b2 and c3 pawns are the main killers, which will be supported by minor pieces and the rooks behind them. So the idea, should I play that random move with a pawn? I mean, does it matter? It does, as it's been demonstrated. For instance, in this beautiful game, a move like c4 right now, you could check with the Val gauge. All of a sudden, drops, the balance, breaks the balance, and gives white massive advantage following the a4 moves. Black could have just simply played bishop g7 again, d6, you see the arrows yourselves, bishop b7, and everything's fine. You just go and play the game, have a very nice, beautiful Sicilian, balanced and all. But if you play c4, if your opponent did the homework and they find out the historical game that happened in Skopje, former Yugoslavia, North Macedonia, as of now. And yeah, that's the stuff that I wanted to share with you, my dear friends. Sorry for the break in the middle. I don't think I'm going to take that thing out. And seeing you guys on the next video or next live stream. Soren Chess Coach here, signing off for now.